BoyleSports World Grand Prix on Sky Sports.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to day number 4 of the Fallout Bar this year for the BoyleSports World Grand Prix. We're going to be here talking you through all of last night's action, as always, and looking ahead to tomorrow. Cam was with me. Lee is potentially on his way. Yet again, he's having internet troubles. I do miss the days when it was me, honest, not much. And, of course, we're going to start with the one and only Sarah, who had a lovely birthday last night. We're not going to get too much into your celebrations. We'll let you keep them to yourself. We've heard enough. How did you see the action tonight, Sarah?
Oh, it was amazing, wasn't it? I thought, Ian White was class. He was really interesting to enjoy himself on the stage as well. And look, I thought Johnny Clayton was pretty cool as well. He was fair to win it, but he had to kind of dig deep. And as some of the fellas in the press room were saying, that's probably the best form he's ever played. So look, if that's anything to go by, I think my anti-post tip is looks good at this stage, but yeah, and Danny Noppert as well to win in the fashion that he did, 3-0. It looked kind of effortless, didn't it? And look, exciting times ahead for him. He has a baby boy due in February, and yeah, it's just fantastic action tonight. And look, we've more to come tomorrow, so roll on tomorrow.
Yeah, of course we do. Quarterfinal night tomorrow, so everybody left in the competition is all back in at once. No more separating the nights out. We can just talk about all 8 players as a collective field. You mentioned Johnny Clayton, the dream all Welsh final for some. I say dream, it's an absolute nightmare for me. Is still on. What can you tell us about that one?
Yeah, so the Gerwin Price Johnny Clayton final, it's now 2-1. From what did I give you last night? I think it was 9-2, so it's just 2-1 now. And then some of the outright prices. I'll go through the players that played tonight. So Ian White 12-1 from 22-1. Christopher Fratoski is 8-1 from 14s. Danny Noppert is 12s from 22, and Johnny Clayton is now 130 from 7-1. And then obviously with the rest of the betting in there, Gerwin Price is still the favourite. No surprise there, 5-4. We have Dave Chisnell at 9-1. We have Ryan Searle at 10-1. And we have Stephen Bunting at 14-1. And also there was another 2 full houses tonight, lads. So we're now up to £5,000 for Parkinson's UK, which is absolute brilliant. These full houses are bloody flying in. I think there was only 8 in the competition last year. So look, we're up to 10 already. And we have 2 matches priced up for tomorrow. I'm just still waiting on the other 2 to come in. But Gerwin Price is the 1-3 favourite to beat Dave Chisnell. And then we have Stephen Bunting and Ryan Searle, which Ryan is the 4-6 favourite over Stephen Bunting, who is 6-5. But look, there's a bit of value in there still in the outright, lads. Like, I know a lot of people, it's easy to tip up a favourite in Gerwin Price, but I'm telling you, I really, really like the way Johnny Clayton is playing. So I wouldn't put anyone off backing him at 130.
I like the sound of Fratoski. I think he was around 60s pre-tournament.
Of course you do. You always like the sound of Fratoski.
Was that 8s or 9s, did you say, for Fratoski? Was it 9s?
He's 8-1. I'm just looking at here now. One sec. He was big as 40-1 with us anyway. He might have been bigger elsewhere, but he was 40-1 with us. That was his biggest price.
Sheesh. And you mentioned the full houses as well, and Stephen Bunting on the way, because I wasn't going to bring this up, but now you have. Apparently, when I asked for a trophy on Twitter earlier, it was as a weapon, not as a thing to go on my back wall. Sarah, what do you do in Ireland?
Honest to God, when I presented Stephen Bunting with his full house last night, he was like, oh, this is great. He was like, I don't even have a mantelpiece, he says, but I'm going to have to build one to put all these trophies on. He says, but they'll come in handy, he says, in the house to use as a weapon. Like, what? You have a break-in or something? Like, you just fire it across the room and something.
That'd be lethal. He's dangerous enough with his darts without throwing a heavy little glass trophy across the room. Sarah, thank you very much once again for joining us. We'll let you get off. We know your lift is just out of shot waiting to take you back to the hotel. And we'll speak to you once again tomorrow night. Enjoy.
No problem, lads. Enjoy your evening. Thanks.
And then there were 2. Make that 3. Oh my God, he's here!
Hi. Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, Charlie Beaton has just put his mug onto the screen. No more of his passive-aggressive comments flashing up on the screen, because he can do that all himself and just tell us how he really feels. He's back.
Hi there, everyone. Apologies for the offensive logo on there, but we all know the proper name for the Washington football team. Hi, podcast listeners. You need to go and have a look at this. Good evening, everyone. I have to get some practice because we do have some huge news to tell you about a little bit later on. What's happening tomorrow, God? Because someone decided.
Huge, is it?
All right, fine, whatever then. I'm hosting tomorrow now because Gob decided, I want to go to Leicester and actually watch the darts. So you've got me, everybody. I bet you've missed me.
All week and you're crying about it. Don't be mad, be better.
Ooh, someone's sociable.
It could be worse. I could be attempting to do the show from Leicester, like Lee is, and can't get on his Wi-Fi in his hotel. So, at least I've just gone, let's not even do it, and laid the plan out straight.
It's usually your problem from home, to be honest.
Jamie, scraping the bottom of the barrel now, getting Gob on. I've been on all week, you cheek. Also, he's changed it to Jar. There we go.
Look at this. There we go. Jar, yes.
Because Tugboat is the official name on
Hmm.
everything, isn't he? Yeah, he's the opinion that we go to in the chat room.
Jarlath, you made my day. There we go. I'm just giving you what the fans want, Gob, and the fans clearly want me because you are not good. Clearly, everyone's missed me on this show.
I normally says it a lot worse, but you realise you can't swear on this show, so we're going to move on. Speaking of what the fans want, Cam, what the fans might get is an all-Welsh final because Johnny Clayton tonight, after going 1 set behind to Jose de Sousa, was phenomenal.
He was. The finishing from him, was it 4 ton pluses in the end? Was it 4? Was it 5? No, it was 4, I think, wasn't it? But the 3 in a row to take the last 2 legs of the second set and then the first of the third, it was incredible. And then to finish it off with another one, it was very, very good. And Webby's going to be very, very happy. It's starting to look like, isn't it, come finals night?
Yeah, I got a lot of time for Mark Webster, but there's only so much Welsh love affair that I can take. And if that is the final, I like Mark, but I hope he's not on it. Let's have 2 people that just can't stand the Welsh, maybe, just to spice things up a little bit. Jard, Cam mentioned the finishing of Johnny Clayton tonight. At one point, he went 110, 100. Was it 112?
112, yeah.
And a 116 as well, boot in there as well.
Bit bloody good, isn't it?
It was, but I'm going to sound like a real miserable bastard at this point.
Language!
Here we go. He's been back for 2 minutes.
It's 11:30 in the UK. I don't care. And sorry to anybody who's listening to this podcast. We'll put the explicit language thing on it. Look, in all seriousness, yeah, it was good finishing from Johnny, but Jose's finishing was dire. Was absolutely Kieran dire. There's no let's not push about around it and mess it up or press it up or anything like that or sugarcoat it. He was dire. 6-24 on the checkouts after winning that first set. He missed so many darts to the double. And yes, Curtis is absolutely correct. The 10 dart was absolutely brilliant. That's not absolutely correct. And also the biggest thing is here. Thanks, Missy. Cheers. Did you select that, Gob?
I think I tried to deselect Curtis' comment and it just put another of yours up on the screen. Yeah, brilliant. What a night.
Yeah, Jose also threw for the second set. Damn, you're right. And this is the biggest issue is that his finishing just wasn't good. And look, it happens. I'm not saying that that wasn't the main reason why. There was also some quality in there from Johnny. Don't get me wrong, but it's easy to find those quality shots and hurt your opponent when your opponent is scoring really well, Gob, but he just ain't finishing.
Yeah, not ideal from Jose de Sousa. 6 from 24. I mean, he's averaged 92 and he's 6 from 24 on the doubles in a double start competition as well. Yeah. Jose's scoring was very, very good when he got in, but that was issue. It just felt like he was struggling a little bit on both ends, to be fair, with the outer ring.
Maybe he needs to wear. Maybe he just needs to wear the glasses for the finishing and not for the scoring part.
A bit like Peter Wright debating a dart to walk on to score with and a dart to finish.
Yeah, just glasses on for that, glasses back off.
Yeah, interesting. Johnny Clayton does advance. Interestingly, once again, we've done this. We did it last night, and we've just done it tonight. The one interview that we don't have ready for you yet was the final game because of time.
We started with it again.
Started with, so it may have been ready by the end of the show, but we're not going to jump back to it. So on to the next game to talk about this evening. And I think we're going to talk about the second game of the evening. This is possibly a completely different order to the one that myself and Jar discussed. But I want to talk about Christopher Fratoski. You're on screen now, so I get to talk about my boy.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to talk
look,
about
the comeback was very, very good, and I've never seen a crowd react to him like that before. But I want to talk about Christopher Fratoski. So we're talking about Christopher Fratoski.
This is why I need to
That's
start
how
hosting.
things work.
This is why I need to start hosting shows again, everybody. Dreadful, dreadful decision there from Gob.
Running amok. This is what I do. Potentially what could have been the game of the night. Rob Cross against Christopher Fratoski. Rob Cross looked very, very good in round one. Almost the Rob Cross of old since the Premier League. Been averaging in the mid-90s, but not really finding that extra gear when he needs it. And that seemed to be the story of the night once again. Fratoski running out a 3-1 winner. The set that Rob Cross did pinch, Fratoski was all at sea on the doubles just to get into the leg. And after that, Fratoski responded, found his range again, and blew it away, to be honest.
Yeah, it was pretty comfortable. I just thought Rob Cross didn't look quite right tonight. The action didn't look quite right. I don't know whether it just looked snatchy. He was dragging a lot of darts low, and then he was overcorrecting, and he'd be an inch higher the treble. There was no consistency. It wasn't what we saw from him in round one, and he never looked like trouble in Fratoski, did he? He was, other than that second set, which he won 3-0, I think, did he? Again, on Fratoski's throw, but that was he didn't do a lot in that set, to be honest. It was a long way below his level, and I wanted to sit here tonight and bash your boy up a little bit, and now it's the other way around.
No. That calls for something, Jar. I just wasn't ready to press it. So if you could pay attention on the back end when he's being a little bit sad, that would be much appreciated.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
yeah, one job.
I'm actually trying to produce and also be a pundit. So you know what? If you want to take that job on, you can do.
Such a girl. This show's gone to hell. Thanks a lot, Lee Boys.
I like it.
We'll be the third wheel with these two. It's like being at home with mum and dad arguing.
It's been a well-polished show all week, and we let him on once, and it's just
gone to absolutely gone to pot.
Jar, Christopher Fratoski, I'm going to let you talk about him because of how much you love him, because he is a different animal on TV now. But as you keep pointing out, he hasn't won anything yet. But you have to admit, he does look a lot more composed, a lot calmer on TV right now. 4 consecutive TV quarterfinals. Only one player in the world that's done more than that recently.
Yeah. Look, let's be frank about it. I'm more than happy to admit when I'm wrong, but I'm not wrong at this moment in time. In all fairness, Gob, what did I message you privately earlier on this evening? You know, I messaged you saying his highest checkout of the night was 60. 60. Yeah. The scoring power is unreal from him at this point. Look, he was absolutely brilliant. There's no doubt about that. First time he's beaten Cross on the big stage, which is always a big thing for him to get over the hump in that. Especially when they always seem to meet in the last 16 on the stage as well, which is a weird stat. Look, I thought Fratoski played really, really well. I'm not debating that. My point is that he might be a different animal on TV, but as I keep telling you, he's won the square root of Jack. He hasn't won anything since pre-lockdown.
The square root of me is pretty amazing, mate. So maybe you want to rephrase that.
It's not, unfortunately. I know you too well. On a serious note, though, like I say, he's won nothing. He hasn't even won a Pro Tour tournament. So you can't say that
he hasn't won a Pro Tour tournament this year. But in contrast, his team game has got a lot better. Because last year, Fratoski was picking up floor events, and that form wasn't translating to the TV. Now, the steeliness when Fratoski first started becoming the hipster pick, it wasn't translating to TV. It was like, oh, he's going to pick up a Pro Tour because people who know darts and pay attention to that can back that, but you put him on TV going, he's going to do something special, and it never quite materialised. Now, he looks like he could do something special every time he's on the TV.
What happens when
Very
he gets
difficult to break down. I would argue he's one of the most difficult players in the world right now to break on TV.
What happens if he loses tomorrow to Johnny? Yeah, I mean, he's won 2 great games for nothing. You don't
Fair bit of prize money.
Yeah, but you don't win plaudits for going to a quarter final. It doesn't matter. You don't get that.
And you do if your name's Ian White, because that crowd adored him once again.
Well, let's hold fire on that. But you don't win prizes. Points don't make prizes. Quarterfinals don't make prizes. Trophies are prizes.
They do see him keep climbing the rankings towards the top 16, top 8, which is where he firmly belongs, in my opinion.
Yeah, but at the moment he doesn't, because he isn't doing bits on TV.
He is 4 consecutive quarterfinals.
It's only a quarterfinal, though. It's only a quarterfinal. It's 2 wins to get there. That's not good enough.
One of them was the Worlds.
Right. Congratulations.
We're talking about this week.
Congratulations. It's 3 wins for him. 3 wins then. Second, third, and the 4th round.
Can we please hear from Christopher Fratoski in his post-match interview, please, Mr. Producer?
No, I don't feel in this moment. This match show me I must be more concentrated because in this match I was nervous. I don't play that what I want to play.
Correct.
And he's calling himself nervous. Bless him. But Christopher Fratoski is through to the quarterfinals tomorrow evening, where I will get to see him play, as we've already pointed out. On to the third game to talk about this evening, which was the first game of the evening, which is the one that Jar so desperately wants to talk about. I don't think we've ever been in this position before, but he was the most popular player up on stage tonight. And now Jar even loves the man.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves there.
White pulling off a spectacular comeback against Darius Labanauskas. He gets over the line 3-2 in set. It didn't look like it was starting very well for Ian White. It looked like it was a performance, that first set in particular, was worse than a performance against Gary Anderson. And I have to be honest, that was a painful watch. But it did get better. And Rod Studd will hate me saying this, but he stole all the momentum, Cam, and he ran away with it.
The momentum meter was definitely in Ian White's corner. No doubt about that. Rod Studd's momentum meter was there. There's no doubt about that. The biggest issue I thought was Darius. I thought the biggest moment in that game was if they had a break at the start of the final set, I reckon Darius Labanauskas goes and wins that game. I think the second set break was huge. Obviously, I understand you can't just change things around and all that sort of stuff. I get that, but the fact that he managed to break Ian White's throw in the 5th, and then White hit a 1-3-6 to go and win and steal the break back, that to me was the moment of going, this is going to be Ian White's day. And look, we have criticised many a time on this channel and many times on other podcasts that we've done, Gob, about Ian White's inability to do it on the television. That took some stones to come through a tense leg like that.
Yeah, it did. And to be fair, it took some stones to finish that leg against Gary Anderson in a different style, because it was just not there for him in that moment. It's interesting that you mentioned the TV breaks, because I wanted to talk about that as well. I don't quite understand why they're scheduled when they are. After the first set, after the second set, and then we don't get one for another 3 sets. And I'm with you, and that was my thinking throughout that game, is that 1 and 2, and then no break for 3. If you start stealing the momentum as Ian White did, it's incredibly difficult to stop that, Cam.
It is, and I think I kind of agree as well. I think 3 sets on the bounce is a lot. I get going to a longer break after the first 2 breaks. I don't really think we need 1 after 1, to be honest. I think 2-2 and going to the last set would be the better way around of doing it. And yeah, it could make a difference. But then you look at that and go, right, well, you'd fancy White to fire off straight in that first leg, and Labanauskas still came back. I think the 1-3-6 was the killer, and that was where, like you said, that was where it sort of took the edge. But then the cracking sort of the 8-8 to finish it off after sort of setting it up in that last leg, the 1-2-9 to set it up, and the 8-8 was bang in the middle. It was nerveless almost, which says a lot for a deciding leg of the deciding set.
The biggest, can I just say really, really quickly before we go to Ian White's interview, the reason why we do those breaks when we do is because of Sky.
Yeah.
Sky want 3 advert breaks in a match, and the only way they can guarantee that in a first round match or a first round or second round match of the world is the same as well. The only way they can guarantee that is if you take a break after the first and second set and then at the end of the match. That's what they do because they want 3 advert breaks. It's the same way you see it in every single time. And the reason why as well particularly they do it is because the first set you can guarantee it, and then you see it again in the World Championships. The first set, second set, and fourth set when the format goes up and all that sort of stuff. That's the only reason why they do it. It's purely because of Sky. They want the adverts.
To see the same adverts over and over again in between every break.
Probably reel them off now.
Yeah,
the adverts of the system that I was watching anyway.
Yeah, same.
Let's hear from Ian White before we have a quick final discussion on these two, and then we will move on.
No, I didn't even know until I looked at the draw and I went, oh, they're all in my half. But no, it doesn't matter who you play. You look tonight, Darius could, he was 2-0 up on me. You've got Christopher that's on now, and you've got a few other players coming up. They're all top players. Don't matter who they are. Yeah. It's a massive win because it's my first one back since the dreaded op. But yeah, I just need to play well in this. I was defending quarterfinals anyway, so at least I'm there now, and I can push on now and hopefully get back up them rankings where they belong.
Yeah, missed out on the Euro Tour this year, which is normally such a big weapon for Ian White's ranking position. A quick word on Labanauskas before we moved on, because we didn't mention him in the build-up before. Looked good in the first round, looked good in the first 2 sets in this round, and then it just seemed to disappear from him, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, didn't it? It was, 2 sets in, you thought he was absolutely carrying on his form from the round before, but that winning line gets a little bit difficult, as we saw last night as well with Ross Smith at the same sort of stage. When you've not been there, you've not got the experience of doing it again and again, and you haven't got that muscle memory. You've not got that. I've been here before. I know what's coming. I know what I'm doing, and it'll come back stronger for it. I think it's one of the things that you've got to go through to then get over the line next time round.
Yeah, I don't have the starting stats in front of me, but I think there will be a massive difference between sets 1 and 2 and the rest of the match for Darius, because his finishing remained okay. He was 52% overall, 10 from 19. He's only a point less than Ian White in the averages. So I think where that game was then lost was just getting in. Ian White started going on a bit of a rampage. Darius is chasing his tail, trying to cling on, and that's that one. On to the final game that we're going to talk about tonight.
Really quickly, that comment there from Simon. Not what I think he would just about get away with it. There's some other players that Barry would change the rules. But remember, Barry's retired now.
On to the game we're talking about last, which was in the prime time slot this evening, rather interestingly, to support our Dutch friends from over the channel. Danny Noppert, 3-0 against Vincent van der Voortjaar. You're the one that pointed this out. He is the only man into the quarterfinals that is yet to drop a set.
Again, how many people have said that at the start of the tournament?
And Drew Marco van Gogh in round number 1, yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. Let's be frank about that now. Look, I thought the moment that this game was when Vincent didn't take the first set. That was the moment when the game was Romeo done. I didn't think at that point that he could get back into the game. When he was 2-0 up, he missed a dart for a 130 for the third set, and he just thought, for the first set in the fourth leg. I didn't think at that point that as soon as Noppy nicked that first set, you just saw Vincent's demeanour he started slumping his shoulders. He was a bit all over the stage a little bit. And when Vincent's in that mood, there you go. You've got him. You've got him in the mud, quite frankly. And there were some great checkouts, don't get me wrong, from Noppy. I thought there were some absolutely outstanding checkouts from Noppy again. In the checkout department. Let's have a quick look. The 130 that he hit in the first leg of the second set, 3 ton pluses. I thought he was absolutely brilliant, and he managed to get the job done on double 11. Fair play to him. And yeah, he looks good. Noppy looks a bit good at the moment.
Yeah, Cam, there was I keep bringing this up, but there was a time not so long ago when myself, Jar, and Mr. Phil Bars himself were sat discussing the majors, going, right, which of the seeds or non-seeded players does everybody want to draw? And Danny Noppert's name was brought up an awful lot in that conversation. He survived an awful lot, and now he's kicking on. He looks far more composed up on stage. We are close, I would say, to seeing what Danny Noppert was all about in the BDO when he made the BDO World Final.
Yeah, I think we are. I think he was really, really just composed, comfortable, looked really good tonight. It was just, he just had him at arm's length for the entire time. Like you say, that first set was huge. Like, if that bullseye goes in for the 130 that was right on the wire from Vincent, he maybe goes on and makes a much better fist of it. But then from that point onwards, he never even looked in the game. The 100 on the two tops was never ever missing from Noppert either. Like that checkout, as soon as he hit the single 20, you just thought this is going. As soon as he looked upstairs, and yeah, just comfortable, composed, not overly interesting, but just enough to
You've been trying not to dig him out for the last 5 minutes. It was going so well.
I know, but he's not the most interesting man in the world, is he? There's not a lot on the stage when he's playing that you're thinking, oh, this is exciting to watch, because he is a bit deliberate. He's not slow. He's not one of the slowest players we'll ever watch, but he's also not fast, and it doesn't make for a rat-tat-tat good watch.
He's methodical. I don't mind him. A lot of people are mentioning.
He's not just in height level. He's not.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's not slow, but he is methodical.
I swear, a lot of people are mentioning how the hair gives him superpowers. It very much resembles our colleague in the top right-hand corner of the screen right now.
He does actually, yeah.
Because he is crap at darts.
I am absolutely bobbins. There's no doubt about that. I can't even come back from that. I'm absolutely bobbins. But you know what they say, God, those who can't play darts talk about it. So there we go.
So what am I doing here then? No, I'm joking. Let's hear from Danny Noppert himself, the man formerly nicknamed Noppy, now the Freeze, which is
that's got to stop, by the way.
Danny, change it back. This is Danny Noppert in his post-match.
No, not yet. But afterwards we will speak each other.
So you do plan to speak to him and sort things out?
Yeah. This is a new step, and we leave that one, and we'll see what's going on. And
the irony of that, by the way, can I just say, the irony of him saying there's a new step after what happened in the chat room right now. Yeah, he was obviously talking about the incident with MVG. People have been asking me what I think about it, because I wasn't obviously, I was in the background on Monday. Look, so I've spoken to a certain member of the media who knows Michael Van Gogh quite well. We can all guess who it is. He's spoken with the man himself. He didn't do it deliberately. He would have told this person in the media, definitely, if he had tried to do it deliberately. He didn't do it deliberately. And the one thing, look, MVG, does he engage in mind games? Absolutely. Does he roar and scream at the same level that Price does? To an extent, yes. But to call him a cheat is a very, very, very serious accusation. I wouldn't call him a cheat on that one personally.
No, I agree. And look, we made this point of the day, but the stomp is a bit 50-50. If it was a stomp, if it was a stage, etc. But we did make this point the other day. Get out of the exclusion zone, and you can't be called on anything. There's a lot of players that start creeping into the back end of it. Just keep yourselves out of it. You can't get in trouble. It's there for a reason. And it would be interesting to see if they start clamping down on that a little bit, because what people don't know is there is actually a second official at the side of the stage for every match. Just you've got one official calling the match, you've got the two markers, and there is a second official for each match that's keeping an eye on everything. It'd be interesting to see if they start getting involved just a little bit more. Bit of VAR in darts, just what we need. And as Brandon says, as Gary Anderson famously says, I just want to play darts. Before we do move on to look ahead to tomorrow, as if by magic, we've got a quick snippet of Johnny Clayton. It's just appeared in our system. Definitely should have done this in the opposite order, but it was too good not to talk about first. So here is Johnny Clayton in his post-match press conference, and then we will look ahead to tomorrow night's quarterfinals.
I just said thank you very much. But no, hey, listen, it's the quality of the field. So nobody's afraid of anybody anymore. So at the end of the day, we all go out. If we do our job well, we're hard to beat. Yeah, maybe, but you can't miss that camera. It's massive. So, obviously, I enjoy myself up there. So let's see what I can do.
Sounds confident, doesn't he, Johnny? As we keep saying, we might be on our way to that all-Welsh final. If we are, though, they're going to have to survive the quarterfinals tomorrow night and the semi-finals the night afterwards. Let's look ahead at the quarterfinals. Look at that transition. It's like we're professionals or something. Well, not after the way we started this show. Game number 1 tomorrow night, Danny Noppert against Ian White. Both of these players will be fancying their chances. But Josh, surely you're going to go with Danny Noppert on this one.
No, actually, I'm not. Nah, I'm joking. Of course I'll go with Danny Noppert on this. My goodness. Yeah, look, great run for Ian White to make the quarterfinals once again, but this is the moment where his dream of reaching a non-players championship semi-final comes to an end. Danny Noppert wins this comfortably. I've not seen Danny Noppert play this well in a long, long time. In fact, I haven't seen him play this well in a ranked major ever, if I'm going to be brutally honest, the PDC. Do I think he continues his undefeated streak in the sets? Pardon?
You're going that bold in a race to 4 this time.
No, it's a race to 3 still, God.
Race to 3 still. I don't want to talk about, honest.
Look at the format, please, love. No, do you know what? Sod it. Danny Noppert wins 3-0. Sod it.
Interesting. Cam, for yourself?
Sorry, nodded off for a minute at the excitement of this game. It's of no interest whatsoever. No. Let's be serious now. I can't see past Danny Noppert either. I think he might just about get a set on the board, but that depends. If he starts like he did today, he won't get anywhere near to getting a set because Danny Noppert will not let him off the way that Darius Labanauskas did, and he will get wrapped up 3-0. I think 3-1. I think White wins the first one, and then Noppert rounds it off from there.
You say not let him off. Danny Noppert hasn't really been under any great deal of pressure. Michael Van Gogh threw 2 spectacular legs at him in set number 2, but then didn't back it up with anything of real note for the other 3 legs in that set. If Ian White gets at Danny Noppert, if he starts better than he has done in the last 2 matches, surely you boys can see him drop in a set at least, if not 2, and maybe even the match.
I gave him 1 set. But yeah, I just don't think it's a massive if that he gets off better than he started previously.
Interesting. Before I do give my prediction as well, as some of you are doing already, don't forget to pop your predictions in the chat and we'll flash them up on the screen. And if you could all drop us a like, it's only next to the chat box. It's not that difficult. You're all typing away anyway. Just click that button and help us out. It'd be massively appreciated. Thank you very much. I've just spent 5 minutes trying to convince you boys to back Ian White, and I'm going for Danny Noppert 3-1. Brilliant. I was just trying to get a bit of variety. It's the spice of life, isn't it? On to game number 2. And boys, I genuinely think this is the game of the night. The next 2 games after this are very, very good, but this could genuinely be the final, and I'd be happy to see it. It's Christopher Fratoski against Johnny Clayton.
Of course you think that.
Why?
Because it's got you boy in it. That's the only reason that you think that.
I want to see this best of 9 sets.
To be fair, I hate to agree with him, but I'm with Gob on this one. It's the game of the night by some distance. I hate to say it. It just is.
I'm not so sure.
Well, what are you sure about, Cam? The result. Where are you going?
I am going Johnny Clayton. I can't see past it. I think Fratoski was good tonight. He's been good all tournament so far. But I think Johnny Clayton is just on another level. I just think he just finds, as soon as he gets in, that's it. He just runs away with it, and you can't stop him. So unless Ratajski bashes him up early, which I just can't see him doing, I think that Johnny Clayton wins 3-1.
He started well in the last two sets, in the last two matches as Ratajski.
Yes,
In the second set, that's been his issue. If he puts Johnny under it early, don't get me wrong, Johnny responded fantastically today, but he isn't going to win 4 legs on the spin while taking out 3-ton pluses in a row again, is he?
Well, you said that.
Anything can happen. Jar, your turn.
I can't believe people are forgetting what happened at the 2021 UK Open, Gob, when it came to this game. Christopher Fratoski played Johnny Clayton, who had just won the Masters, had just won a Players' Championship tournament, was on fire, and bashed him.
Don't do nothing on TV.
10-3. It was a bashing. So to say that he can't go and do it on television against Johnny Clayton might be being a bit too presumptuous. I'm going to get absolute pelters for this from him.
That being said, you're going to back Johnny Clayton.
I'm going to get pelters for this. I think that Christopher Fratoski beats Johnny Clayton. I think he beats him 3-1.
Not pelters. It's a solid enough prediction because I'm going for exactly the same. I think if
that's exactly why it's not a solid enough prediction.
I thought you were going to bash me for
you went on from 4 last night on your predictions.
Yeah, well, it didn't cost me 300 quid, did it, Cam?
Well, it didn't cost me that either. It cost me 20, but...
I like it. He's not...
Ha! Who can play that game, Monsieur, with your red wine connoisseur? Tug, are you seeing this, by the way? Calls me the tungsten toff. 2 nights ago, he rocks up, he's had a couple, he's swaying around with his phone camera because he can't get his laptop. But tonight, he's got the red wine in the hand.
I've got a lot of time for the red wine. Always.
Yeah.
Always got a lot of time for the red wine.
I had a can of dark fruits 2 nights ago, refused to put it on screen.
Well, yeah, there's a reason for that, because dark fruit's toss. Where are you going with the game?
You should not be putting that on any screen or anywhere near your mouth.
Yeah.
Where were we? Ratajski wins 3-1. Again, the issue is that if he struggles to find the outer ring, because if he misses doubles, he misses them in large batches, which allow Johnny Clayton back into the match. As we saw today when Ratajski lost the second set, that he just needs to recover and carry on with that. Game number 3, boys. And I tell you what, I'm intrigued by this one as well. And Dave Chisnall was talking a good game in his post-match interview the other night, saying he is out for revenge. Joe, you put your hands over your eyes, but if there is any event that Dave Chisnall's got it in him to beat Gerwyn Price, it is the double start event, because somehow the Enigma just keeps doing it.
2019, had a chance to do it, didn't. 2020, had 4 match darts in the semi-final to do it, but no, he didn't. And Gerwyn Price won that Grand Prix. Just thought I'd remind you there, Gob. 2021 Grand Prix, it's going to be the same thing. Dave Chisnall will play well. Gerwyn Price will just about hang in there. Dave Chisnall mismatched darts. It is how it works. Gezi Price wins this match by 3-2 in a last leg decider.
I was convinced you're going to say 3-1 then after saying he misses match darts. That would sum up the show tonight. Cam, for yourself.
Oh, apologies. Yes, Scott, he did make the final. Yes, he's defending a finals money. My apologies on that. Yes, it's 1-1, fair enough. But like I say, in the game's quarterfinal, semi-final, won't make a blind bit of difference. Thank you, Scott, though.
Yeah, thank you, Scott. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Hang on, sorry. That my prediction there was what's the word?
I like it. He's not.
So yeah, but beside the point, Gerwyn Price wins 3-2, last leg decider.
Cameron,
I'm going the same scoreline, but I'm gonna say that it's not a last leg decider, and he takes the 4th set to make it 2 apiece from being 2-1 down, and breaks Chisnall there and then, and goes and wraps up the last set. Yes, he wins it 3-2.
Dave Chisnall wins 3-1. It's the hope that kills you, folks. It is the hope that kills you.
I can't bring myself after. I still can't bring myself after last night to beat Dave Chisnall.
Watch it as well. Of all things, I'm going to be sat there praying.
If you hear someone trying to just basically calling Chizzy's name out for the entire match, you think you're going tomorrow. You know who it's going to be. There's literally going to be him the whole time.
Yeah.
Final game, sorry.
Fan club. I might even wear yellow just for Chizzy. Chuck the old hoodie.
And it's also an online darts logo as well, but apart from that, yeah, it's fine.
Final game of the night, and this is quite intriguing as well. A very, very composed, good performing Ryan Searle takes on Stephen Bunting. For me, this is an absolute toss of the coin. Cam, how do you see it?
This is the one I see as the game of the night. I think this could be absolutely fantastic. It's once again the battle of
Christopher Fratoski. Carry on.
I didn't even hear half what you said then, but I'm just going to move on. It's a battle again of the darts that are the size of house bricks and the feathers that Stephen Bunting throws. Somehow they both manage to get them in the same place. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever how they can be so different, but they work. But I think Stephen Bunting wins it. I think it'll be the best game of the night, and I think it's a 3-2 last leg of this one.
Charlie?
This is interesting, actually, because as obviously Tubbo points out, it's the lightest darts versus the heaviest darts in the game. Look, someone also mentioned, was it Tommy, I think it was, he said, is Searle ready for the Prem? Absolutely not yet. Needs to be another 2 or 3 years because he isn't winning this title because Stephen Bunting beats him, and we get a rematch of the World Championship semi-final in the World Grand Prix semi-final. Both set play events, and we see Price take on Bunting. And I think Bunting wins this 1-3-1. And I think I'm being generous when I give Searle a set. Sorry.
I like the look of Stephen Bunting right now. He's talking well in his interviews. He seems relaxed. He's playing good darts. But Ryan Searle is starting off legs with so much ease, and that just gives him, just leaves any pressure that he's under at that moment because he's pretty much in every single time that he wants it. And because of that, I can't believe I'm doing it, but Ryan Searle is going to beat Stephen Bunting 3-2 in my opinion, my humble opinion, and often wrong opinion. And this is where I hope I'm wrong, because I do like Stephen Bunting, got a lot of time for the man, even if he wants to use the BoyleSports Full House individual trophies as a weapon in his house.
Well, if you compare them to his darts, there's no way he's going to be able to throw them. They'll be far too heavy.
Just shatter his arm. That is it for the Fallout Bar for this evening. Thank you very much to Jar and Cam, especially Jar for jumping in last minute. Thank you very much to everybody in the chat room for getting involved. Again, a quick little flick before we disappear. 61 of you voted in the poll that I snuck up on the chat room earlier. Will we get an all-Welsh final? 56% of you say no. That's not the way that the two on screen expected that one to go there. And I could tell by the reactions, plenty are expecting this to be a Johnny Clayton Gerwin Price final.
I'll be honest with you. I'm obviously not, because I'm backing Christopher Fratoski to beat Clayton, so I'm not surprised by in the slightest.
I voted yes, just for
commiserations. You've lost this one as well. It's just not been a good week for you, Cam. We don't even need a GIF anymore. I'm just going to do it for you. So thank you very much to everybody that got involved in that one. We will know a little bit more tomorrow evening. As Jar so politely pointed out at the start of the show, he will be hosting tomorrow night because I will be at the Morningside Arena in Leicester taking in some of the darts. So if anybody in the chat room is there, don't be afraid to come and say hello. I'm probably nicer than most things in Leicester anyway, so I won't bite, I promise.
We'll see. We'll see after you've had a few dark throws.
A massive thank you to our sponsors for the week, BoyleSports, and to our usual sponsors, Modus and Red Dragon. Don't forget to like today's show before you all disappear. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more content, and head over, stay on the channel to pick up all of the interviews in full if you so wish. We'll be back tomorrow night at the end of play. Thank you very much for watching and enjoy the rest of your evening.
I like it. It's not.
BoyleSports World Grand Prix on Sky Sports.